Welcome to the press conference. We have here with us Caruana and So, two American players, and we have the first decisive game in the candidates tournament. Caruana won. And first of all, let's talk a little bit about this event. How do you feel to be here? How did you feel about the playing conditions today? I think it was really special. What can you say?
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here. I feel, this is a great chance for me. This tournament, it doesn't happen often, but it's always a great opportunity for all the players playing. And I've never played in a tournament where all the boards are completely separate, which is interesting. It makes it harder to have a look at the other games, which is probably good for our own play.
So have you done some circles today to see the other games, or you were fixed on yours?
Yeah, I at the start I was pretty concentrated on my own game, but eventually I had to look at the game, so I looked around.
What about spectators? This feeling that they're watching you all the time.
No, I actually didn't really notice. I know that there are levels of people looking down, but I didn't really notice. It wasn't really distracting or anything.
Yeah. Wesley, what can you say?
It's great. My first time playing Berlin, also in candidates. It's not on. Oh, great. The playing hall is quite different from usual. With all the people. But it's great that so many people are watching the tournament. I think chess is very popular here in Germany. So yeah.
Didn't you feel a little bit separated from the other players? Or it was fine?
No, I didn't mind. Every game has their own corner. And I was, for the most part, focused on my game. And I only had time to briefly check what's going on the other boards through the TV.
Yeah, things went actually exciting after, I think, this moment. Maybe you'll not agree, but I think after E5 everything became concrete. And what can you say about this?
Maybe E5 is not the best thing.
I expected E5, but I don't know what else you can do besides.
Yeah, they would play E4.
I wasn't really happy with my last two moves, Queen C2 and Rook E1. I was trying to get E4 in, but I felt like I had lost the plot a bit. There were so many options besides Queen C2, like A3 was very interesting, and besides Rook E1 there was B3 or...
E3 Bishop F1.
Yeah, there were... Like instead of Rook E1, B3 was very interesting. There were so many moments, things I could have done differently, but yeah, I started to dislike my position, and I took a long time to play knight g5 because it leads to a very sharp position. I had to make sure I wasn't losing in the complications. And yeah, so I
think E4 was also quite an important decision here. Or?
I had already decided when I played knight g5 because I can play E3, but still this H6 knight f7 works all the time. But black will play B3, and I don't have a good square to put my queen. And let's say I take and then queen somewhere. This Rook A2 is always in the air. And very often, if black just gets, like I was considering queen B1 here, but if black just regroups or plays like maybe bishop B4 first to attack the rook, and then knight C5 and bishop F5, I can quickly get a strategically lost position. So I decided to play, in the sharpest way. And here I think was a critical moment because I think Wesley had this move Rook A2.
Rook A2 was suggested by Fabian as maybe my best chance. I was worried about if ED5, Bishop A6.
Yeah, sorry. Queen Bishop A6, Queen has to go to F3.
And then Rook B2.
Rook B2, and then we get a strange position. I had a feeling that Black is doing well. It's still slightly awkward with the piece placement, but I was also worried that the B pawn would be winning for Black. Here, and we get some sort of mess. And I wasn't sure if I should do that or play a move like Rook B1, which was my original intention until I saw this really annoying move, Bishop D3. And if I take, then Bishop takes the Rook on E1 and the pawn on B2, and we have a mess, but I had a feeling I would probably be much worse in this mess. So I was kind of relieved when Wesley went for Bishop A6.
So from now on, you felt that your position is better.
I mean, I wasn't 100% sure, but I at least didn't see any easy way for black to play. So I thought practically I'm in a good situation. And yeah, bishop c4 came as a surprise, but maybe it's the best move. Okay, the point of this is just that bishop c7 is winning. So the play became very forced, and we reached this position where I'm better, but it's still very complicated. And maybe bishop d4 was just not a good move. Maybe like rook e8. Rook e8 was still putting up a good fight.
Yeah, so what do you think went wrong in this game? I mean, what was the moment actually you missed something? Or all this idea with e5 was not correct?
Yeah, I think knight g5 was a good move. And after that, play became very forcing. And it's not easy. I mean, I probably have to play rook a2 instead of bishop a6. After bishop a6, my king is too vulnerable. And I just couldn't manage to defend. Then also, yeah, somehow things went really bad real quick.
Okay, just the first round, of course, but I mean, we just started this tournament, and I was just wondering, what are your expectations about this event, and what was your preparation to this event? Who's helping you here?
I mean, I can't say I have any expectations. It's a really good start, but it's still the first round, and I think we see in every candidates tournament that there are a lot of ups and downs for pretty much all players. But it's still a great start. And yeah, I mean, I prepared quite seriously before the event, but I don't want to. I mean, Rustam Kazımcanov is here with me,
Yeah,
but
we saw him.
but I don't want. I worked with some other players, but I don't really want to reveal the names.
Okay, Wesley.
As Fabiano said, great start for him. Yeah, so, yeah, so it's clear it's going to be a tough tournament. Going to be, we have some of the best players in the world here. And it's hard to predict what would happen.
Other questions from journalists, from spectators? Please. Yulia, can you please pass the microphone? Oh, here. Okay. It's okay.
Thank you very much for putting on a good show for the Americans. That's kind of what my question's about. What is it like for two of the top Americans to meet in Berlin? What do you feel about that? About being paired first round like this, and then, how did you prepare yourself to even face each other? Because obviously you're friends and teammates. So yeah, I just want to know from both of you how you feel about playing each other, and then also how you prepared for it.
Well, I think that the players from countries were paired in the first rounds, like the Russian players and the American players were paired in the first rounds to avoid any potential speculation about match fixing in case anything were to happen, which is a good decision. Although, I mean, all the players in this tournament, of course, have the highest integrity, I think. But I mean, Wesley is a top player. He's been a top player for many years, but I still don't approach the game any differently than I would against any of the other players in the tournament. I still think that, I mean, I can't really try to put more effort in against one player or another. I should just try to play my best against everyone.
Except the fact that you knew 1 month before that you're going to face him, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because you don't really, you get information during the tournament about openings, so before you have that information, the only game you can really very concretely prepare for is like the first or the first 2 games. And after that, we start to see what players are playing in this tournament, because all the players have their repertoires, but they start to prepare different openings for this particular event.
Okay. Wesley?
Yeah, for example, the very first move is a surprise already for me, because I think in the last candidates, Fabiano played e4 in all his games. So it's always interesting for me to play against Fabiano, because of course he's a great player. And with the US having 3 of the top 10 players in the world, it's always very competitive. And it's unfortunately I always seem to get bad positions against Fabi. Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't survive today. But again, against every opponent here, it's just a different game. So.
Yeah, thank you. Please.
Разрешите на русском с переводом. Как я понимаю, оба гроссмейстера живут в США. Если это так, то за сколько дней до начала турнира вы приехали? Вопрос к обоим. И успели ли акклиматизироваться, справиться с часовыми поясами?
The question is that both of you came from USA, so from far away. So how long you here already? How many days in advance you came here, and do you still feel jet lag?
Well, I came here only on the 8th, but I was already in Germany for like a week before because my coach lives in Germany, so I just stayed at his place until we traveled by train to Berlin. So I don't really have any jet lag at all.
Yeah, so for me, we arrived in Berlin a week ago. Jet lag becoming an issue for chess players since we travel a lot, and compared to Minnesota, there's a 7-hour time difference, and they say that as a rule, you need 1 day for every hour of difference. And the first round is always tricky because there's a lot of expectations. A lot of things can happen, but once the tournament starts, I think it's just game after game after game. But I feel fine, ready to play.
Yeah. So thank you very much for coming for the press conference, and wish you all the best in the next rounds. Thank you.